Greetings, fellow seekers of truth, wisdom, and light. This is old Reverend Eliot coming to you live from the city of New York, where we're going to spend the next hour delving into the mystical world of the tarot. I figured I needed a fanfare. I mean, I've been doing this for years without a fanfare. I want a fanfare. Other kids get a fanfare. I wanted a fanfare. That was my canned fanfare. Just add water. Yeah. We're here tonight live, rounding the bend to the end of October, which means Halloween is coming up. So go to my website, boy, look how fast he got into this. Magick-works.com, Magick-works.com, Magick-works.com. Click on my blog, and you'll see the latest blog post, which is about Halloween. Halloween is there because I have a wonderful pumpkin that I carved and I videoed 12 years ago. And it hasn't rotted yet. It's still there. And so I put it up every year. And I've got some announcement there about a couple of books, which will really, really enhance your Halloween. If you don't get them in time for Halloween this year, don't worry about it. Just do Halloween all year round. You can get them any old time. One is the Medieval Secrets of Black Magic, and the other is the Book of Forbidden Knowledge. Boy, that's perfect for Halloween stuff. I mean, none of this trick or treat, give me some candy corn. No, we're pros. You know, we get into the real nitty gritty of Halloween, which is scary stuff. Spell casting. I naturally don't recommend casting spells to hurt people, but some people ask for it. Now, don't give in to that kind of temptation. This is to show you what not to do. This is show you to be a better person. Don't do any magic that you can have bounce back on you and hurt you, because it's not what it's there for. We can discuss that sometime. You can go look at my page at that. When you're at my website, you can look at my page on revenge. Yes, revenge, and that's something that crosses a lot of people's minds. I want to talk to you about, since we're getting into the Halloween thing, this is another kind of season too. This happens every couple of years. It's election time. Have you noticed that it's always an election time? As soon as this election is over, November 6th, they're going to start with the next one. You'll see. I mean, that's because it brings ratings. Media loves elections because it splits the audience, and you can as long as there's a thing called market segmentation. That's the deal. That's what media is all about. Market segmentation. What can we do to attract this or that? I mean, I knew a guy who loved sports many years ago. He loved sports, and his dream was to go to work for Sports Illustrated. And I said, don't do it. And he said, well, why? I said, because you love sports. The Sports Illustrated has nothing to do with sports. They'll hire people who are knowledgeable when it comes to sports, but they don't care about sports. It's just market segmentation so that they can sell you sports-related things. And he thought I was being so cynical. But, we were in the marketing business anyway. How could a guy who is in marketing not know this? So he cheerfully worked his way up the ladder and got into Sports Illustrated, where he had a miserable time because nobody there gave a rat's patootie about sports. It was all about market segmentation. This is why magazines and TV shows exist. It's to get certain kind of audiences. This was the beauty of a program like Star Trek. You wonder why it lasted so long? Well, nice scripts, good, interesting stories, this, that. But there was a character there to please every segment of the audience. You had the rational side with Mr. Spock. You had the emotional side with the Doctor. You had the manly side with the captain. You had the woman who answers the phones. There's all kinds of things there. Now that was such a successful format that it was ripped off again and again. For instance, Barney Miller, which you probably never thought of as really a descendant of Star Trek, because there was somebody in the characters in that police station to appeal to some segment of the audience. It's all about market segmentation. And what is more market driven than politics? You know, that first of all, you sign up for a club. I belong to this one, you belong to that one, therefore I hate your guts. Don't come over to my place for dinner. It never used to be that way. I mean, I remember here in New York, we had, when we had two political parties very active, every week, the leaders of the Democrat Party and the Republican Party would get together for lunch every week. And they would talk policy and things like that. You know, that was before they were trained to hate each other. And that kind of hatred came out of market segmentation. Now, I'm saying this for a reason. I wouldn't bring up something so pernicious if there wasn't something we could do about it. Just keep in mind that this is the silly season. That's what the media calls the ending of winding down of the campaign, because bizarre stuff starts happening. You know, now we're getting all this stuff. Suddenly everybody's an expert on Hitler. You know, everybody. I can show you a quotation praising Hitler as a wonderful, wonderful leader from 1937 by Winston Churchill. People, you know, that's mind blowing. But you don't hear that. This is now it's used as a battering ram to beat people up. This every say you're Hitler. No, you're Hitler. You know, that kind of it's so mature, isn't it? It outdoes the issues. And that brings me to a book that I discuss every year around election time. It's called Unmasking Fear. And I want you to check that book out if you haven't. That book is about how, for their own interests, the powers that be keep us at each other's throats. And they do it by keeping us in a state of fear. It's all about fear. 99% of advertising is fear. Do I stink? Is he going to call me back? What did I say to her to get her so angry? You know, oh no, what can I do? So commercials are, you know, they set up a situation in 30 seconds to fill you with fear. Now, this book goes back before that. They'll show you how deep the roots are for this kind of institutionalized fear. Unmasking Fear was written in 1919. That was before even I was born. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah. I got my turban on wrapped real tightly so I don't fall apart. The 1919. There's a new edition of it out now, which I wrote the introductions to. I wrote an introduction and a foreword. I did that because I had more ideas by the time I was done. So you can get a copy of Unmasking Fear by Lloyd Kenyon Jones with introductions by me, Reverend Eliot, that put the book in context and explain how it was relevant back then. There were barely any telephones in 1919. There was no radio in 1919, so there was no television. Movies were just flickering black and white images. They didn't really do much. And they were mostly pedaled around from one theater to another on a bicycle, and they lasted 6 minutes. It's you know, if somebody made, like in 1919, you had The Birth of a Nation, I believe was 1919. It revolutionized the film industry. It told a story in like 2 hours. Holy mackerel! You know, that's that. But even that was based on fear. That had, you know, it's a very controversial film then. It is now. But the point I'm getting at is Unmasking Fear will show you how, for more than 100 years now, I mean, the book is over 100 years old, but the things in the book were old when the book was written. The power structure is there to scare you and keep you scared and keep you in a state of panic and fear, because then you'll do what they want. You'll buy what they want. See, you'll see what they want. You'll interpret things through a lens of fear. That is not good, folks, and that'll kill you. You know, fear is good. Let's get that out of the way. Fear is an emotion that we have developed as human beings to serve us evolutionarily. The evolutionary advantage of fear is that it tells you that you're in danger and you will be able to take care of yourself. Constant fear is terror. That's no good. No, then that's the kind of stuff that Don Knotts used to make fun of, showing a guy who's in constant state of fear, and it was very funny. But we found it funny because we know it's true. So I want you to look at Unmasking Fear and consider getting this book and reading it. You'll find, I think, one review of the book at Amazon, which is horrible. But the person writing it has this bug up his intestines about religion, because there is some stuff in there that it touches on religion. You can't not do it. I mean, what is a greater fear than do this or you're going to burn in eternal damnation? There's all kinds of things that are being used to control us. Now, the person who wrote the book was not anti-religion, not quite the contrary. In fact, he was a seriously religious person and spiritual person. But you can misuse anything. But read the other reviews there at the link at Amazon.com. If you can find the link to it at Unmasking Fear at mojoacademy.org. There's links there. You can get it right from the printing press and save. I'll show you how to save 15%. It's not an expensive book anyway. And or you can buy it from Amazon, and you could go to Amazon, look at the reviews, and then buy it the way that saves you the most money. How's that? Take a look at mojoacademy.org for Unmasking Fear. It'll be right there on the homepage. You just scroll down until you find it. There's also a link, tinyurl.com/fear, unmask/fear. That's the one. Look at that. I got so many of these tiny URL things that I get confused here. It's tinyurl.com/unmask-fear. But you'll find it you may find other editions at Amazon, but I think you should take a look at mine because being mine, of course, it's superior. And you get my writing too, my particular take on how this book applies to now. There isn't very much people think that applies from 1919, and it still works today. But let me tell you, you read that book, you will say, "Yeah, I know, I see, I know that. Oh, I know that. Yeah, I've seen that in action." Because there's a great movement to keep us in fear. How many people in America are living in a state of terror and fear? It's astonishing how many of us are. They're constantly in fear, and it's the basis of almost all elections. Sooner or later, they all start out happy and joyous. Sooner or later, they end up trying to scare you, and they succeed. I mean, they are good at it. These are experts. These are highly trained people who know how to scare us on a wide level. So I want you to just calm down as we approach Election Day. Early voting has started, so maybe you can get that out of the way if you want. But in the lead up to Election Day, it's going to get crazier and crazier, and I urge you to resist that. This is not an endorsement for any political party. That I leave to you, to your needs. I happen to believe that the expert in which party to vote for to fill your needs is you. And anybody who tells you otherwise is arrogant. That's no matter what their party is. They can make a suggestion. They can say, if you feel this, then I humbly suggest you vote for me. But you don't hear that. You hear vote for me, or certain parts of your anatomy are going to fall off. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Now, there's a lot in the world to be afraid of. As I said, fear is important. You need fear. And I want to write something about that another time also, although there is a chapter on, look, this is going to be like synergy here. There's a chapter on the need for fear in Reverend Eliot Explains It All. another book about the esoteric philosophy. Guess who wrote that one? Because there is, yes, like I said, there is anybody who's fearless is asking to be killed. You know, fearless is I'll just jump out of the airplane. I'll check the parachute on the way down. No, don't trust the guy who's fearless. No, they're reckless. What are the other feelings? Anger. There's another one that people get bred out of them. Have you seen people turn to children, little children, and say, "Don't you talk to me in that tone of voice, young man. Don't you raise your voice to me, little girl." No, 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 no. But don't belittle their anger either. Don't say, "Oh, that is so cute. She threatened to skewer me with a tent pole." No. Anger is important. Anger is the emotion that tells you you've been mistreated. Out of control, anger becomes rage, and rage eats you alive in many ways, not the least of which it gets you to do stupid things. Don't ever act out of anger. Never, never. I mean, that's right up there. You married men will understand this. There's things you never say to your wife, just like your mother. Oh, brother. You know, Ooh, talk about unleashing the whirlwind, right? So I want you to take a look at unmasking fear. If this constant barrage of psychological warfare designed to keep you in a state of panic and fear is taking a toll on you, and you may not even know it, then I urge you to read this book that will show you how it's done, why it's done, who's doing it, and what you can do about it. It's called Unmasking Fear, because fear is important. You want to know how important fear is? I'll tell you how important fear is. Lying. Nobody's ever been able to persuade me otherwise concerning what I'm about to tell you. This is not Reverend Eliot's rule number one in life. This is maybe rule number 1A or 1B or maybe 2, but it's right up there. We only lie to people we fear. There's no other reason to lie to people than you are afraid of what's going to happen if you don't lie to them. And that means you fear the person. We can discuss that if you want to call in and, as you do a reading, if you want to ask about that or argue with that, because I know I have enough respect for you as an audience that I know that your argument is going to be beyond saying is not. You'll say, gee, Reverend Eliot, I know you're a world recognized authority on just about everything, but yeah, in my dreams, right? But I respectfully disagree, and we can discuss it. I'd love to do that. I am fully aware of the fact that if I disagree with somebody, I must give myself the option of considering that I'm the one who's wrong. Or maybe neither of us is wrong, but that's where we are. You're wrong. No, you're wrong. That really advances the culture, doesn't it? So keep in mind, as the election gets more and more bizarre, and it will. I mean, we haven't seen the end of crazy time yet. Unmasking Fear by Lloyd Kenyon Jones, with a foreword and the prologue by Reverend Eliot. You can find that at mojoacademy.org. I'm taking a little more time here, not just to shill a product, but I truly believe in this book. And I absolutely believe that it will help you. It will help, even if you're fine, even if you're onto it, even if you know all about it. It'll add to your ammunition in terms of being able to explain it to people, perhaps. Not that you're not eloquent. I know you are, or you wouldn't be listening to this show and calling in. See, that's the other thing. What is the greatest fear? Speaking of fear, what is the greatest fear people have? Public speaking. Well, you guys who are going to call in tonight, you beat that. You're going to call in and talk to a complete stranger, and you're going to open up yourself, and you're going to speak honestly about things going on in your life. So the least I can do is respect that by treating you with the dignity and respect and honesty myself. And that's what I always strive to do, unless you're a pain in the neck, which has only happened once, by the way. I think all the years I've been doing this, there's only been one person who tried to be a wise guy. And oddly enough, I knew the person. What if familiarity breeds contempt, right? Well, he's no longer with us. Not that the two have anything to do with each other, but there you go. So listen, that's it. Please keep in mind there are some very highly paid people. I'm not talking about people being paid millions of dollars. I don't have millions of dollars. I have no idea what it would feel like to have millions of dollars. I mean, am I rich? Some people think I am. I mean, if I had to say anything, I would use the answer Richard Pryor used to give. I'm a thousandaire. Yeah, but no, I just want you to know that there are people who have ruminated on these great topics like fear and manipulation of the public since long before we graced this planet. And make no mistake about it. I mean, don't ever sell yourself short. You're here for a reason, which means you are gracing this planet. You know who I'm talking to. You are here for a reason. Now, tarot and the esoteric arts are one of the things that help find what that reason is. You never know. You just don't know. This is why I never really made plans in my life. I had a rough outline of what I wanted to do in life, but I never made plans about saying, well, I'll do this and I'll do that, and then I'll get here and I'll get there. I knew people who did that. I knew people who mapped their lives out to the last degree. One had everything fixed up so that he would retire at 50. He almost made it. He retired at 51, and then he died. So that's kind of sad. But he got it. He got what he wanted. I have known people who all I want is to be rich and famous. And I used to say to them, pal, if that's all you want, you'll get it. But you're going to find out that then you're just going to be the same person you always were, except now you have loads of money and everyone knows who you are. But you'll still be the same to you inside. And they've killed themselves. I've known some highly successful people. You too. You know who they are. Some of these people that I've known, their suicides made it into the news. It's a nice, cheerful subject, isn't it? But you see, this is what I'm talking about in terms of fear. We all carry fear with us. Let's embrace the fear. Let's learn to live with fear and use fear to increase our awareness of the world around us, and do not, under any circumstances, let highly paid technicians exploit that human emotion of fear to mess up your life or my life. And that's why I say I would like you to read Unmasking Fear. And then you can call in sometime and we can discuss that too. I'm here not just to read the tarot cards, but to look into the esoteric aspect of life. Something that I arrived at quite accidentally many years ago. And like I said, I hadn't planned for it. It's almost like it planned for me. So listen, let's get right to it. After a half hour. Let's get right to the readings here and see how many we can get in. I will ring a bell now to declare sacred space. The cards are shuffled up, and then we'll get to reading the tarot. There. Now we'll pull the curtain on the magical window and speak to Lindy in Australia.
Hello.
Hi, Lindy. Hi, Lindy. How are you?
Hi, Reverend Eliot, is it? I'm good, thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So you were about to ask something.
Do I ask something, or do you just pull a card?
Whatever you would like. Is there something you want to look at?
Oh, well, I have been listening to your discussion on fear, so I guess this is...
Well, that's interesting. Do you want to look at that?
Listening to on YouTube. Is my money safe where it is in a big bank?
Is your money safe in a big bank?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Let me shuffle that up.
Like
The,
finances, work.
well, the first card I have is the moon, and the moon is about the unconscious mind. I'm going to just this is no great wizardry, but given the nature of your
Yeah.
question and the nature of the card, I'm going to say that you have a bit of anxiety about this. Correct?
Yeah, because I'm not working at the moment because I'm 64, so I don't know whether to go back, go and get
You're
a
a kid.
job.
You're 64. You're a kid.
Yeah,
I remember.
so
I
I don't know
remember
whether
when I was
I
64.
should go and get a job or whether
Well,
I'm secure. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I've got some cards here that show that you're a very powerful person. I have the Magician card here. That's a person who can take spiritual energy and transform it to earthly energy. That's the broadest outline of the card, but it shows that you have that kind of ability. The Ten of Coins here is a very good card in terms of money. The Two of Coins is about somebody who knows how to juggle money and balance money and make things happen with money. Uh, you're okay here, is what I see. Now, the thing
Okay.
is, um, I have the Page of Cups is here. That's the beginning of something emotionally in your life. So this is a very emotional. The, the unconscious mind and the Page of Cups and the coin cards tell me that money is important. This particular tranche of money is important to your well-being, but of course we know that. I mean, here's another one: the Nine of Coins. Um, I'm not seeing anything to worry about. I'm
Okay.
seeing cards like the Ten of Swords, which means you went through a rough period in life, but it's over and things got better
Yeah.
and you're doing well. Um,
Yeah.
here's the Page of Coin. There's your your relationship with money is quite decent. Let's put it that way, according to these cards.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, but if you have any doubts, speak to the bank. Here's the Ace of Coins. I'm getting all these good money cards. That's the cards
Well,
like you.
I guess it's just that fear of that the bank's going to crash.
Well,
With all these changes.
you do have insurance, don't you, in the banking system in Australia?
Well, yeah, through the government.
Yeah, we have
If
the
the
same thing
government's
here
going to
too.
crash.
Yeah,
Yeah, so probably like we will follow suit with what happens over there.
well, money is an interesting thing because money is totally artificial. I mean,
Energy. Yeah,
and
I know.
yet
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I had as a child in school, the best definition I ever heard of money was that money represents time worked. You know, and yet so many people work really hard to try to get more and more money without working.
Yeah.
So, but no, see, I have very positive, upbeat cards for you. I don't see anything. The only
Okay.
thing I'm seeing is the moon, which shows that this is eating at you kind of unconsciously. You may be having disturbing dreams, but that you can deal with that. But I do see here's an interesting card: the Six of Swords. You are getting in life from where you are to where you want to be. Usually involving moving. The metaphor here is somebody moving a boat from rough waters to smooth waters. So you're doing
Yeah,
that.
I've made some big changes. Yeah.
You're taking care of yourself, and it's working. Here's the three of the sun, which is health, healing, growth, happiness, and the three of coins. You notice you got like every coin card in the deck here. Three of
Is
coins
that a good
tells
thing?
me yes, because you didn't
Yeah.
get the bad ones. Like the
Okay.
five. Ooh,
Yeah.
fives are nasty. The three of coins here tells me that there is a position coming your way, which is probably going to be a temporary assignment or a temporary job, but you will fulfill the requirements of that work and be recognized for having done so successfully, and that will lead to more things for you. So you're on the right path.
Okay. That sounds good.
Ace of
I
Rods.
appreciate your time.
The Ace of Rods confirms that. That means a new job, new career path. And
Oh,
you did mention you
okay.
know, even at 64, it's always good, even at 64, to look for something new. You know, so
Yeah, something.
why not? You don't want to get into a rut.
Well, yeah, I left. Yeah, I left two really good jobs, and I made a really big move by myself. I just sold my house and packed up my car and moved
Was there a
state.
reason behind? Was there a
And
specific reason behind this? Was there a goal you were
well,
looking
that
at?
what you said, the bad time. Yeah, my husband died, my house burnt down. It was like,
Oh,
yeah, it was
yeah.
a tough time. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
but
yeah, that's I saw the tough times
it's what it
in
is.
here, but
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that card means that those times are over. That's what's good about it.
yeah. I feel that too. Yeah, I feel that too.
So
Okay, well, I really appreciate that. Yeah,
I see good things coming your way.
thank you.
Okay,
That's good.
my pleasure.
Yeah. So do I have to go searching for a job, or should I just
No,
find out about this?
there's something coming your way. I see it.
Okay.
I even get the
Yeah.
six of coins here, which is a card of there's something you want to do, you may even get an investor, a backer. So that's a card of philanthropy and money coming your way. You're going to do fine financially, according to these. But if you have
Oh,
any doubts,
okay.
you should look into a new bank. You know, why not, right?
Well, I have split my money. I have gone to two now.
Good,
Um,
good, good.
yeah. Well, it's mainly, yeah. I just want the kids to have something, And I go, not that I'm planning to go, but you know what I mean.
Oh, listen, I
Yeah.
do know. Yeah, I mean, I that's why I missed a bunch of shows after going for a checkup and finding out that I'm close to checking out. But we're working on keeping me alive.
Oh,
So, I'm
good,
not ready.
good,
I'm
good.
not ready to go yet.
And I
So
will. Good on you. I'm not either. So I'm going to get that book unmasked. Yeah, that sounds good.
I think it
Yeah.
helps. It's one of my favorite books. That's why I reprinted it from my publishing company with my own addition to the front. Well, anyway, I'm
Yeah.
going to light a candle to send positive energy your
Yeah.
way, but I think you've got plenty of it going for you. Trust me, these cards are really
Oh,
good.
thank you so much. I do trust you. Thank you so much.
My
Have a
pleasure.
good
Bye
day.
bye. And I realize one of my cardinal rules in life is don't ever trust somebody who says trust me, and I just said trust me. So I don't know. I guess I don't count, right? I'm above all that. Let's go to Crystal in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Hi, Crystal. You're on with Reverend Eliot.
Hi there. Hi, Eliot. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you tonight?
I'm good. I hope everything's going to go well for you and your health. I'm sending love and
Oh,
light your way.
thank you. There's so many people doing that I feel. I just got a bunch of lab reports in, and the numbers are much better. They're still disastrous, but they're much better. So that's a
I'll
start,
keep
right?
sending beams. Yeah.
I appreciate it, and that I want to make sure I mention that in almost every show. Because I hear from members of the audience all the time, sending me energy and healing energy and health and Reiki energy, and
Yeah.
I know that's why I'm doing better now than I was a couple of weeks ago. So what can I look at for you,
Absolutely.
Crystal?
Well, I'm interested in learning a little bit about my business and where I'm at there, and then my money overall and my love life.
Well, here you go. The Two of Rods is the first card I've got here. The rods are about commerce and business and career. That is, like, you've done some things, and you may be going into partnership with somebody else. You're waiting for something to happen. Followed by the Ace of Cups, which is all the beginning of all things romantic and emotional and good. And here's the Three of Rods. This is the other card. This is like the partner card to the Two of Rods. The Three of Rods is where the things materialize, but now you're waiting for it to yield results. Shows a person looking out over the bay, and there's two little ships in the distance. Well, those ships are the businesses that this person has started, and they're off to do business, and the person is just waiting for them to come back. And the threes also indicate completion. So there will be a bit of an opportunity for a good partnership, and also there will be things happening.
Are they boat related partnerships? Or is that just
No,
a
it's not.
metaphor?
Yeah, that's just a metaphor. Yeah, it's not
Okay.
literal in that sense.
Okay.
But these are I like those two cards, and when they show up together like that, what's important to me is between them is the Ace of Cups, which is really good, and then I've got the Ten of Coins, which is absolutely marvelous. That's perfected happiness in terms of money and family and lineage and heritage and all kinds of good things. But it's good. It's financially it's excellent. It's quite good. Something new is coming because I've got the Ace of Rods here. That's the 1, 2, and 3 now I've got. So something is coming. And it's coming soon because I have the 8 of Rods. The rods really, they love you, these rods, And then, of course, now this is the other half you asked about, the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups indicates a new relationship, the beginning of something new with somebody new. Or if you're in a relationship already, it's the relationship coming to a new level.
Any insights about who that might be?
No, I don't see anything that deeply.
Because there's a couple in my midst, in my energy.
Well, it's going to happen with at least one because I got the Page of Cups. See, the concept of the court cards begins with the Knight, which is like a potential. The Knight is on horseback and is just jumping around and can be very unpredictable. The Page is the end of the thing. It's the appearance. It's the actual physical appearance of this.
Of a relationship.
Yeah, and here now the next card I have is the Queen of Cups. You've got the whole thing going here. That's telling me that there's something coming. And it'll be very good. Right now, immediately, what's going to be coming is more of in a business nature, that because of the rods. But this after that is when once the business stuff is settled, then the romance is going to flourish. So that now the important thing here is the Temperance card. That if you have felt that there's things in your life that are not in balance, this is the card that says they will be returning to balance. Your life will regain balance. And
I just got divorced last year.
Oh, and I wanted to ask about that only because I see the next card is the Hierophant, which is traditionally in this genre the card of wedding.
Yeah.
So you may be doing it all over again. I had a marriage that was just such a wonderful marriage. It lasted 1 year, 4 months, and 10 days, but who's counting? And after that, I've been married to the same person for 40 years.
Wow.
So it can be done.
I was married for 15, and then just split a year ago, and so kind of focused on working on myself, and now I'm open to just being courted,
Yes, and the World is the card I have for you, which is the card of great success, assured success. There's still some lingering sadness. That's the Three of Swords. It shows a heart pierced by swords, and it's crying. So there's still
my dog died last Saturday.
Oh, no, okay.
He was 16.
Life does this to us, isn't that why? Yeah. I mean, it's just it keeps happening. Now, there are only people who have had that many years with an animal companion can understand how bad that is. The other, look, you can get a new dog, that kind of stuff. But no, that doesn't work that way. Because you can't get that dog. Although there's down here in New York in the Gramercy Park area, there's a unique little business for like $100,000 and something. They'll clone your pet.
For cloning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about it. But I can just connect with them in the 5D, right?
Yeah, and there's also, you always have the memories. I as a teen, we had a German Shepherd, and that was like the smartest person I ever knew. Who was non-human, And
I know, right? My dog
I still think of that guy. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
people don't understand the depth of that because it's as grotesque as when a woman suffers a miscarriage and somebody will invariably say, well, you can always have another. They think they're saying something nice, and they're not. And I've seen that.
People don't understand how to live in grief.
No, because grieving has been pathologized. I mean, many years ago, I was listening to a local radio program hosted by a psychiatrist actually, and a person called and said, "I'm depressed. I've got a terrible depression. Do I need medication?" This was around the time that Prozac came out, so it was a new thing. I said, "Well, what has something happened in your life to make you feel depressed?" He said, "Well, my sister died, my brother died, my father died, my mother died, my uncle died, all in the last 4 months." I said, "You're not depressed, lady. You're grieving, but we've turned it into a disease."
Yeah.
And we have to understand, of course, I believe that there's certain losses that never fully leave us. We just absorb it and we deal with it. Yeah, but it never fully goes away, and it's sad. Owing to the bizarre circumstances of my life, I was never able to, for instance, grieve the loss of my parents. It was just, these were people I barely knew. They loved having a child, but they didn't like to have an adult. I mean, so they didn't know how to raise kids themselves. So I understand, and I don't hold it against them, but I don't know what it feels like to lose a parent. And I'm an old man, and I've lost both my parents died, but it was a different world. My mother came from a European aristocracy line where she only saw her parents at dinner time and was raised by the help. So she had no idea. And of course, I was pretty annoyed about that for many years until I understood that it doesn't always work, but in this case, I think it was she did the best she could. But it was, of course, horrific. It wasn't very good. But what can I tell you? But I have no idea what that feels like to grieve the loss of a parent. So all you can do is be with the person who's grieving, and hold the hand, if literally or figuratively, and get us through. But the way you're talking about it seems to me that you're very healthy about this. You understand it. You're living with it and absorbing it, and you're not letting it destroy you, even though it hurts. See, we don't like pain.
He died on Saturday, so it's still pretty fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't like pain. Well, some of us do, and some of us pay for it. But when you don't strike me like that. But that's a fetish. That's not real pain. Real pain is the joke about the masochist and the sadist, and the sadist says to the masochist, "Hurt me," and the masochist says, "No." Yeah. There you go. You see, there's no. It's a very strange thing, and we have to grieve the way we grieve. You've grieved enough. Have you? Boy, when nothing riles me like people saying, "I think you've grieved enough." Then I feel like saying, "And I think you've had your front teeth long enough," and bang, no, we don't resort to violence in a civilized world. We grieve as long as we need to grieve. Now, if the grieving makes it impossible for you to live your life normally and at all, I mean, you may want to seek some help. But
I am. I am, and I'm actually dating somebody who recently had a big loss. So we kind of understand one another and are supporting each other through it. So that's been really helpful.
Loss is an interesting thing. I came to a conclusion when I was an adolescent that the main value of our first love is how we handle losing it. So we deal with that, and there are ways in terms of the occult tradition and esoteric lore, because it's all about balance. And this is why I like that I got the card here that shows that your life is a bit out of balance now. Why not? You've had losses, but that balance will be returned. And that's very good. With some people, I've read cards and said, you better get to some help professionally fast because you're not getting any better. But I see that balance, the restoration of balance, is in your cards. Okay. Now, here's a hint for it. The card I have now is the Three of Cups. That is about achieving what you need through friends and other people. So that's good. The socializing is good. That's something I need to do a little more of, a little better. I'm not very social. I mean, my wife and I spent 20 years running a newspaper. You don't make friends doing that. So, but we do have some friends scattered around the country. But you will get what you want, and you will get what you need, and you'll do it with the aid of close people around you and friends. But you're headed on a really good path. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, I've got to run. I want to see if I can get one more call in before the end, which is climbing up on us real fast. But
okay, thanks so much, Eliot.
Well, it's been great talking to you. It's helped me sort a few things out in my mind also. So this is a two-way street, right? We work with each other.
Of course it is. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure. Bye-bye now. And Danielle in Melbourne is next. Hi, you're on with Reverend Eliot. Hi, how are things in Australia?
How are you?
I'm doing well. How's Australia today?
Yeah, very hot. Very hot. I'm just waiting for the kids to pick up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're heading into summer there, right?
Yeah. I'm in the country, so it's a bit warmer than the city of Melbourne, but it's beautiful.
So what can I look at for you? I would say tonight, but over there in the daytime.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty open to anything, really, in general. I've had a few major life changes, and so I just wanted to see what's coming or what I need, any advice.
Well, I'll tell you that I see the Hermit card is here, and that tells me that you're going to have somebody who will be like a mentor who is going to help you through whatever you're going through now. If you feel that you need some help with things, it looks like there's going to be the appearance of somebody who will help guide you to get to where you want to be. The Six of Coins is here, which is a nice card. That's about getting money. It's a card of philanthropy. Right. If you're starting a business, let's say, that means you'll be able to find backers. The High Priestess is here. That's kind of a piece with the Hermit card. The High Priestess tells me that you have great insight and spiritual powers, and that you can see behind the veil. And now this time of year, the veil between this world and the next is very thin. Hence things like Halloween. So I think you're going to be okay. But the World card is here. That's assured success. There's changes in your life, and for the better. The Ten of Swords is here. I had that earlier. That means there was some troubles and some bad things happened, but it's over. The bad times are done. And here's the page. The Page of Cups is here, which is a card I had explained it to someone earlier, is about the appearance of a relationship and romance and happiness. And if you're in a relationship, it means it'll reach a new level. But that's pretty good.
Yeah, I've been single a very long time. So yeah.
Hey, here's the Ace of. Yeah, I know you are. Here's the Ace of Cups. It's the same thing. And the Ace of Coins. That's telling me all these cards are significant in that you're going to have money and romance coming your way, which is pretty good. I mean, there's worse things to happen in life, but that's coming.
Absolutely.
You're about to enter. Do you feel it? You're about to enter a new phase of life.
Yeah, I'm feeling something's coming.
Yes.
I'm a single mum, so it's been quite a tough 10 years. We've had a lot of changes, and I just feel that everything's finally coming into place.
Well,
so
the card here I've got signifies the end of one period in life and the beginning of another, with a sunrise and a sunset, and that's pretty good. And here's the sun. The card is of health and healing and growth and happiness. You're headed for a very, very, very good period of life.
great. That sounds amazing. That sounds so good. I've been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah, here's something important. Keep this in mind, because things fluctuate. This is the card called the
absolutely.
Fool. The Fool. Now that doesn't mean you're a nitwit. The Fool is the person who's the beloved of God. The card of the Fool, had there been any negative cards in that reading, it would have eliminated the negativity. This means that you have great spiritual guardians watching over you, so you will be fine. Yeah, you're getting where you want to be. And here's the Lover's card. So things are coming along for you. What you want, you're going to get. Here, the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is about happiness and fulfillment and having so many good things in life that there's even a warning that people will be jealous. And here's the Judgment card, the Judgment card refers to an awakening, a new life. So yeah, that's two cards I see indicating that strongly that a new phase of life is starting for you. And here's Eight of Rods, which means it's happening now. So things are changing.
Fantastic.
I'm not going to say they're going to change. They are changing now, and for the better.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I've got to run. I've only got a couple of minutes left.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much, Eliot.
My pleasure. I hope to hear from you again. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
And that's it. We've come to the end of another edition of Reverend Eliot's Magical Window, the show that asks the question, what is he talking about? Well, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the deep mysteries of life. I'm talking about the magical window, which lets us see into the future, lets us see what's happening, what the influences in our lives are. If you want to learn how to do this yourself, I recommend strongly my book called, believe it or not, Reverend Eliot's Magical Window. It comes with a CD that has actual readings that I've done for people. You can hear points of the book illustrated. So keep that in mind also. You can get that at Amazon. It's a signed edition. It's called Reverend Eliot's Magical Window. And you can do this too. There was a time when almost everybody knew how to do this. And then, we lost touch with this and we started to fall in love with our machines. And that was that. But the spiritual side, we neglect it at our own loss. Dare I say our own risk, because there's so much to learn and there's so much guidance to be achieved. So the books I mentioned tonight are Reverend Eliot Explains It All, Unmasking Fear, and Reverend Eliot's Magical Window if you want to learn tarot reading yourself. And then you can not have to call me at all, and you can put me out of business, and you can start your own tarot service and drive me out of the house and into the gutter. You want to do that? Fine. That's the thanks I get for 10 years of doing this show. Right. So don't forget, I got to go. We're up against it now. So just, remember, who you are is the universe's gift to you. Who you become is your gift back to the universe. I'll see you here next week. Bye-bye now.